Three, two, one. Hello, world. It's Ashley Collins once again. So I have a final fighter for this upcoming event for LeLeo Code's Valentine's Massacre. Please introduce us to yourself.
Yeah, I am Ali, the Lebanese lion Abouzalam, and I'm grateful for you having me on tonight and really grateful for an opportunity to fight for LeLeo Code's Valentine's Massacre.
Awesome. I like that. I like that a lot, the Lebanese. So we have to do the cliche question. Ali, were you named after Muhammad Ali?
No, I was actually named after my grandfather. His name is also Ali. However, my family is Muhammad Ali fans, and of course, he's been one of my biggest heroes. So, anytime throughout my childhood, when someone was like, wait, what's your name? I would always be like Ali, like Muhammad Ali. So he's definitely an idol of mine.
Because it's just so coincidental that your name is Ali and that you're also a fighter. It's kind of like, okay, did they plan this?
Right.
So what made you started getting involved in martial arts in the first place?
It was something that I always loved ever since I was a little kid. Anything martial arts or fighting, anything from like Bruce Lee to Street Fighter to WCW, the Hulk Hogan days, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock days. I've always gravitated towards it as a kid. And I did a few different martial arts as a kid, capoeira. And then where my martial arts journey really took off was in high school. I started wrestling. So that's where my journey of like competitive martial arts training started, was with wrestling. Then I did a little bit of wrestling on my college club team, and eventually got into jiu-jitsu, and that kind of built up into kickboxing and then MMA.
So what are you doing right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, to prepare for this event this weekend?
So I train at Inside Control Academy here in St. Petersburg, and obviously a lot more of striking is going in preparing for this fight, considering it's a Muay Thai fight. So sparring, mitt work, bag work, working on some combos. That's more of the physical stuff, some running. I like to incorporate some sprints for cardio, since martial arts is more of, some fast twitch bursts of speed. Of course, dieting well to get to the right weight, and I mix in a little bit of weight training as well. So really, really, really a whole bunch of things. And then mentally, just rehearsing a lot of my combinations and just staying calm, cool, and collected. I practice meditation, so I feel very mentally strong before competing. I've been competing my entire life, so feeling good. I'm excited.
How do you have, this is a very stupid question, but how do you maintain your energy? I've noticed that like a lot of fighters have to lose weight to make the weight for events, and I think to myself, aren't you tired all the time? So how do you maintain that energy?
Yeah, so I start dieting a few weeks out, so it's not like this drastic cut. So laying off some of the stuff that I like, sweets and carbs and things like that, and just eating real clean and lean, doing my cardio. So that way my energy is good and I can have endurance and speed and explosiveness during the fight. So the first time I ever competed in MMA, I actually hired a professional nutritionist to really help me dial things in. And then from there, I learned a lot to be able to kind of dial in what I need to do for preparing for fights and stuff. So definitely will have ample amounts of energy for Saturday.
True. I like that. That's a really good idea. That's very smart. So I was going to say this for later, but I'm really, really curious. You have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I do.
Talk to us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. So I am on a mission to empower myself and others just to ascend to our best self. I believe that we only have one life, and we're here to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. So a lot of my YouTube channel is around personal ascension, some things that I've learned throughout my journey from either books I've read, mentors I've been trained by, coaches I've been trained by. And it circles a lot around building accountability and confidence. Two things that I've really had to develop throughout my martial arts journey, you know, having accountability to making sure you're going through the workouts, you're eating right, you're being accountable for all the things that you need to do as a student with your coach, learning martial arts, and then having confidence to actually go and display those skills and compete, you know, get in there with another man who's trying to knock you out, who's trying to physically dominate you. So I feel very grateful and privileged to have experience on this path to kind of talk about those things. And then also mix in, I'm a big advocate of vulnerability. So mix in some of my personal battles, battles that I have had outside of the cage, battles with certain types of addictions I tell some stories about, battles with just certain traumas that I've experienced as a child or as a man. And it's fairly new. So I'm still kind of fine-tuning some things with the YouTube channel, but it's been a lot of fun.
What's the name of your channel?
It's just my name, Ali Abouzalam.
Do you find that you have to believe in yourself in order to be successful?
I have to be what? I'm sorry?
That you have to believe in yourself in order to be successful. Like, is that a prerequisite, really?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Why?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, then
let me elaborate on that. Forgive me. Okay. Because that's so vague and open-ended. Because I like to watch a lot of like older writers or actors videos on YouTube, and they talk about how I went to this audition, I knew I didn't have it, but I just showed up anyway. Or they'd say stuff like, I knew they were going to say no to the script, but I did it anyway. And I'm trying to find the marriage between how much should I have to believe in myself? How much should I just embrace self-doubt and just say, do it? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite things to say is feel the fear and do it anyway. And I think that a big part of believing in yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you're fearless. You know, I think when you're really pushing yourself to grow, that you will feel that fear, and that's a good thing, because you can't be brave if there's no fear, right? If you're not scared, then you're not being brave. So I feel that like it's important to do things that scare you and that you get butterflies with, and that's okay, but you still have to have some belief and confidence in yourself that you will be able to do this, that you will overcome, because without that, then you're not going to be able to have that courage or bravery to overcome that fear. Those are my thoughts.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So this is a Valentine's themed event, oddly. Right? What's the most romantic thing you've ever done for someone or someone has done for you?
Ooh. You know, my partner Courtney and I right now, we've been together 2.5 years, and I think like one of the most romantic things that we did at the beginning of our relationship, she actually was leaving for 3 months to Africa to help build a school out there. And this was when we were just like dating for a couple months and weren't really sure where things are going. And she left for 3 months, and we decided that in the middle of her journey, we were going to meet up in Egypt. And we did, and just had like this extremely magical time, seeing the pyramids of Giza, going down to like Pharaoh's tombs, floating down the Nile River. And it was probably like the most just like loving romantic vacation of my life. And also kind of going back to bravery, right? We had only been dating and talking for about 2 months before she went over there. So it was kind of like, damn, this is a big financial, energetic, and emotional investment to go across the world and meet her in Egypt when we had only been talking for 2 months. But it turned out like we realized that, wow, we had such an amazing time together, like being together for 10 days in Egypt or whatever it was. And that really like took our relationship to the next level. So I would have to say that that whole experience was definitely like one of the most romantic experiences of my life. This is funny. This is like the last thing I thought I would be getting asked on a fight.
But you know that you've raised the bar for men this Valentine's Day, right?
I guess so. I guess I just
You're gonna get a lot of hate mail now. Right. So as you get older, do you find love to be a bit childish?
That's an interesting question. Childish in what way? Like, what do you mean?
Like it's something for children, you know? You you give your classmate a Valentine, you know, and there's no attachment to it. But as you get older, it's like, are we just gonna do this or not?
Do I find Valentine's Day childish or love?
Well, no, love in general. Love
in general. No, definitely not. I think love is such like a vast, expansive thing, you know, like it's so hard to define love, but I think that's one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful emotion and force in the world, and that it's far from childish. I think we need a lot more of it in the world. In a weird way, I think that fighting makes me a more loving person. You know, I think us as fighters, we get an opportunity to like work out and release a lot of our, you know, pent up emotions and energy. So that way we can be more loving in the world, you know, and I think spreading love and being as loving as you can is a great thing. It's an honorable thing, and that we need that more in the world, even to our opponents, you know, like I have love for any opponent that gets in there with me in the cage, because without him, I wouldn't be able to compete. I wouldn't be able to have that experience. So even having that respect and love for our opponents, and even like Jesus says, like for our enemies, you know, like it's easy to love those who love you, but the real challenge and the true test of a good heart is, you know, loving those who maybe don't love you, or even worse, who hate you.
Yeah. You're not the first person who said that. That's very interesting that you say that the love for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that. I mean, I'm not as experienced as you are, but I noticed the importance of bowing to your opponent afterwards. There's like the sign of respect, you know?
Yeah.
I always found that like I don't want to talk to them. Like they just beat me, you know? Like yeah. So it makes sense now.
Yeah, it's a very humbling thing, you know. I've never had the experience of after a fight with any of my opponents of like there being any animosity. Usually it's before. It's like, I don't want to talk to you. Like we're about to fight. Like don't come up and talk to me, you know, like we're about to do this. So, but usually after, it's nothing but respect, nothing but love, appreciation. I think like we just know as fighters that how much it takes to train, to prepare, and then to go in there and do it, that it's hard to not have anything but respect for your opponent after everything.
Interesting. Very interesting. So elaborating a little bit on that, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, a little bit of Conor McGregor. Do you find that you feel pressure in order to be a personality, in order to be successful in your martial arts life?
No, I don't personally feel that pressure. I feel that I'm a little bit of a personality and a character just naturally, just who I am. So I enjoy being in the spotlight. I enjoy things like this, like interviews. And I look forward to the day to where I get kind of a more mouthy shit talker type of person, because I think that kind of stuff is fun. So I don't see it as pressure to me, no.
Oh my God, who was I watching today? He was saying how like it's some of the most fun is like shit talking each other, but then like behind the scenes you're like, oh, that was a really good job that you made about me. Like, you know, like how many of those do you drink a day?
Well, right now I'm water loading a little bit to be able to cut down the weight. So today will be like a gallon and a half. Tomorrow I'll drink two of these, 2 gallons.
Jesus.
Yeah, or Thursday I'll drink 2 gallons.
I
Yeah.
had a cup of water. Am I doing a good job today?
Yeah. You may want to a little bit.
Why do you say that you're a dark person?
A what person?
A dark person.
When did I say that?
On your Facebook, you said that you called yourself a dark person.
I'm not sure if I called myself a dark person, but so my last name Abouzalam, it means father of the darkness.
Oh.
And I've always identified with things that I think society labels dark, violence,
Yeah.
And just other things kind of in like the darker realms. But I feel like they're part of our journey. They're part of our growth, of like finding out that darkness sits within you and then working that out in whatever ways that you need to. For me, like a very therapeutic thing is martial arts. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. That does make sense. A lot of sense. Okay, Ali, where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, Instagram is probably the best place. Ali Abouzalam, at AliAbouzalam, Instagram. And then I do post some martial arts related things to my YouTube channel, which is also, you can find it at just Ali Abouzalam. So I'll just check those out. And then I definitely post updates on there from my fights and things like that.
And then last question, then I'm gonna let you go. I'm sure you know the quote. Hopefully, maybe. So far, no one knows where this quote is from. But these violent delights have violent ends. How can we find the romance in violence?
Ooh, can you say the quote again?
These violent delights have violent ends.
These violent delights have violent ends. Okay. And then the question is what?
How can we find the romance in violence?
Ooh, how can we find the violence? I think we can find the romance in violence when we connect to what attracts us to that violence in the first place. So if you're a fan, if you're a fighter, and you think back on like, what is it that attracts me to violence in the first place? You can find your type of romance in it, I guess. I don't know if romance is the right word, but I guess I'm kind of reaching for something here. Look at what has attracted you to martial arts in the first place. For me, it's a romantic affair. I love the movement, how I get to move my body, how I feel, everything about martial arts. And yeah.
You're really deep.
Thank you.
Sorry, that wasn't a question. Sorry. Sorry. Ali, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with me. I cannot wait to meet you this Saturday. And yeah, this has been very, very, very enlightening. Thank you so much for your time, man. Oh, tell us your gym again. Your gym one more time.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Ashley. And my gym is Inside Control Academy in St. Petersburg.
Awesome. Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening, and then I'll see you this Saturday, man.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.